Reading Srimad Bhagavatam 429.6. Sakhaya Indra Yadana Jnanam Karma Cha Yat Kritam Sataya Sadvitaya Pranaha Pancha Vritti Yato Ragaha. Sakhayaha, the male friends. Indriya Ganaha, the senses. Jnanam, knowledge. Karma, activities. Cha, also. Yat Kritam, done by the senses. Sakhayaha. Female friends, tad of the senses, vritayaha, engagement, pranaha, live air, panchavrittihi, having 5 processes, yatha, like uragaha, serpent. Translation: there are 5 working senses, and the 5 senses that acquire knowledge are all male friends of Puranjani. The living entity is assisted by the senses in acquiring knowledge and engaging in activity. The engagement of the senses are known as girlfriends, and the serpent, which was described as having 5 heads, is the life air circulate acting within the 5 circulatory processes. Kindly respond. The 5 working senses and the 5 senses that acquire knowledge are all male friends of Puranjani. The living entity is assisted by the senses in acquiring knowledge and engaging in activity. Engagement of the senses are known as girlfriends, and the serpent, which was described as having 5 heads, is the live air acting with the 5 circulatory processes. Purport by Divine Guru J.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Krishna Bahirmukha na bhogavancha kare nikatastha maya tare chapati adhare prema vivarta. Because of his desire to enjoy the material world, the living entity interacts with material grounds and subtle bodies. Thus he is given a chance to enjoy the senses. The senses are therefore the instruments for enjoying the material world. Consequently, the senses have been described as friends. Sometimes, because of too much sinful activities, the living entity does not get a material gross body, but hovers on the subtle platform. This is called ghostly life. Because of his not possessing a gross body, he creates a great deal of trouble in his subtle body. Thus the presence of a ghost is horrible for those who are living in gross body, as said in the Bhagavad Gita 15:10. Utkramam tam sitam vapi bunjanam va gunanvitam vimudana upashyanti pashyanti jnana chakshusaha. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor they can understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this. The living entities are merged into the air of life, which acts in different ways of circulation. There is prana, apana, udana, vyana, samana, and because the life air function in this way, 5-fold way, it is compared to the 5-hooded serpent. The soul passes through Kundalini chakra like a serpent crawling on the ground. The life is compared to Raga, the serpent Panchavritti is the desire to satisfy the senses, attracted by 5 sense objects, namely form, taste, smell, sound, smell and touch. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Gnanam Gnanashulakaya Chakshuzanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Satpitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Garaman Didati Swaparandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Pada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sakajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tamsaji Shadvitam Shavadutam Parajanam Chaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopikakanta Radha Kanta Namoskrute Tapta Kanchana Gurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Ushavanu Sita Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuveva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Navaram Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaurabhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you very much for coming on board this Srimad Bhagavatam 429.6. So here the living entity, Narada Muni is giving a more, what we say, simplified explanation of his allegorical story that he was speaking in from chapter 27, I think it starts from 26, 27, 28. So the king said, your story is very nice, but I don't understand very well. Can you explain in a more simpler form? So now he is breaking down and explaining in a more easier way to understand. So we all know that we are spirit soul, correct? And we are in this body. And this body has got what? Gross element and subtle element. Yes? The gross element is earth, water, fire, air and ether. The subtle elements are the mind, intelligence, false ego. What else? No more. Yes, senses. Correct? Yes? Without the senses, you cannot enjoy the body. That's why Prabhupada gave the example of the ghost. The ghost doesn't have senses. They don't have a gross body. So they cannot enjoy it. So they try to take other people's body. If you are weak, they take over your body and try to enjoy your body. Okay? It is not that the ghosts are not there. Some people think this is all fiction. Huh? Right? In the Bhagavad Gita it is explained. So here it's explained, Yanti deva vrittan devan, pitran yanti pitram vritaha, bhutani yanti bhutejaha, yanti man yagyanopi mam. So those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods, those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors, and those who worship ghosts and spirit will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live with me. So Krishna is breaking down, there is ghosts. Yes, it is not that there is no ghost, right? Made to wonder because of his fruitive work, the conditioned soul, by contact with the mode of goodness, take birth among the sages or demigods. By contact with the mode of passion, he becomes a demon or a human being. And by association with the mode of ignorance, he takes birth as a ghost or in the animal kingdom. So you don't think this is all fiction. It's reality. It is all based on trying to enjoy the senses. We are trapped in this body and we are given facility. Right? Primarily, we are trying to enjoy the senses. That's what we are trying to do. This is spoken by Prahlad Maharaj. My dear Lord, infallible one, my position is like that of a person who has many wives, all trying to attract him in their own way. For example, the tongue is attracted to palatable dishes. Yes? The genitals to sex with an attractive woman. And the sense of touch to contact with soft things. The belly, although filled, still want to eat more and eat more. And the ear, not attempting to hear about you, is generally attracted to cinema, songs. The sense of smell is attracted to yet another sight. The restless eyes are attracted to the scenes of sense gratification. And the active senses are attracted elsewhere. In this way I am certainly embarrassed. Yes? It is spoken how many years? Millions of years ago. Correct? Yes? The human form of life is meant for God realization, but this process is beginning with Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. Hearing and chanting the holy name is disturbed as long as our senses are materially attracted. Therefore, devotional service means purifying the senses. In the conditioned stage, our senses are covered by material sense gratification. As long as one is not trained in purifying the senses, one cannot become a devotee. In our Krishna conscious movement, therefore, we advise from the very beginning that one restrict the activities of the senses, especially the tongue, which is described by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur as the most greedy and unconquerable. To stop this attraction of the tongue, one is authoritatively advised not to accept meat or similar uneatable things, not to allow the tongue to hanker to drink or smoke. Even the drinking of tea and coffee is not permitted. And also chocolate,
With time, I think you add more and more things.
They don't come to morning classes. Just stay on Sunday, you come evening. Because you come morning, there's so many things you got to learn. And you may not want to practice. First they say coffee, then next day they say tea. Now they say chocolate. Wow. Hare Krishna. I don't think I want to come back to this Hare Krishna movement. Without such restraint, Similarly, the genital must be restricted from illicit acts. Without such restraint of the senses, one cannot make advancement in Krishna consciousness. The only method of controlling the senses is to chant and hear the holy name of the Lord. Otherwise, one will always be disturbed. As a householder with more than one wife will be disturbed by them for sense gratification. So the analogy is given like a man with many wives. Each one is, trying to drag him. So all the senses are like that, Same example is also given in another place. A man who has many wives is constantly harassed by them. He is responsible for their maintenance, and thus all the ladies constantly pull him in different directions, each struggling for self-interest. Similarly, the material senses harass the conditioned soul, pulling him in many directions at once. One side the tongue is pulling to arrange tasty food, then thus drags him to get a suitable drink. Simultaneously the sex organ glamour for satisfaction, and the sense of touch demands soft, sensuous object. The belly harasses him until it is filled. The ears demand to hear pleasing sound. The sense of smell hankers for pleasant aromas, and the fecal eyes glamour for pleasing sights. Thus the senses, organs and limbs are all desiring satisfaction, pull the living entity in many directions. Vishwanath Chakravarti mentioned that after understanding these one verse, should merely offer without attachment the bare necessity to the gurus of one's body. One should keep one's body fit and working in simplest possible way, and that is the sum and substance of service to this so-called guru. If one desires to faithfully serve the body, one should consider the body pulls the consciousness of the conditioned soul in many ways at once, and thus for the servant of the body there is no possibility of understanding God or even becoming peaceful. I didn't want to displease you this morning, but what to do? The subject is very serious. Is it not? This is what's going on. Because it's not that the senses are pulling only the man, they are also pulling the woman. And when we say man, it also means woman, Understand? Because the woman will not have many wives, husbands, but but analogy is that it's what it is. The eyes are attracted to something, and the ears are attracted to something, the tongue wants to taste something, correct? Yes? That's how it is. So the senses, it's not easy to handle them. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is said, it is very, and this verse, Indriyanam he charantam ya mano anuvidyate tattasya harati prajanam vayu navam evam basi. This is Bhagavad Gita. A strong wind sweeps away a bird on the water. Even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away a man's intelligence. They all are pulling, but even if you are very expert in controlling, but even if it is one of them, finish. Understand? It is not some joke. Senses are built, accordingly. Yes? No. You are yogi. See no evil, hear no evil. The monkey philosophy. Can? What? And nothing can work. You see how powerful. Even you try, Sometimes they do this thing, Sometimes we try to do this kind of a gymnastic, and then we try to do like that. O Great One, O Supreme Lord, because of contact with displeasing circumstances and separation from pleasing circumstances, one is placed in a most regrettable position on heavenly or hellish planet, as if burning in a fire of lamentation. Although there are many remedies by which to get out of miserable life, any such remedies in the material world are more miserable than the miseries themselves. You understand? So you try to do this sense control with all these artificial things, it's not going to work. It's not. In fact, you try to elevate a problem, another problem, more miserable. Again, I give you an example. You got cancer, let's say. And what is the treatment? Chemotherapy. Actually, chemotherapy is more painful than the cancer itself. Do you know that? Do you know? You didn't have cancer, right? You ask cancer patient, they will tell you it's very painful. Is it not? She's a nurse, yes. Extremely painful. Sometimes you think, why I should do this? This is the fact, you see here. Although there are many remedies by which to get out of miserable life, any such remedy in the material world are more miserable than the miseries themselves. Therefore, I think that the only remedy is to engage in your service. Kindly instruct me in such service. In other words, if you try to find some kind of shortcut to your sense gratification, you cannot. Understand? The only thing you can do is to surrender to the Lord. There is no other method. There is no other. Because when you enjoy the senses, you completely covered. You don't know what is to do, what not to do. Simply, this is the position. This is how you entangle. And this verse, you can see how everything is there in this book. Nobody wants to read it. That's the problem. How can a person who is most affectionate to his family, the core of his heart being always filled with their pictures, give up their association? Is that possible? Not possible. Specifically, a wife who is always very kind and sympathetic and always pleases the husband in solitary place. Who could give up the association with such a dear and affectionate wife? Small children talk in broken language, very pleasing to hear. Their affectionate father always thinks of their sweet words. How could he give up the association? One's elderly parents and one's sons and daughter are also very dear. A daughter especially dear to her father, and while living at her husband's house, she is always in his mind. Who could give up that association? Aside from this, in household affairs, there are many decorated items of household furniture, and there is also animals and servants. Who could give up such comfort? The attached householder is like a silkworm which weaves a cocoon in which it becomes imprisoned, unable to get out, simply for the satisfaction of the two important senses, the genitals and the tongue. One is bound by material condition. How can one escape? That's now the tongue. Now and one more. Yes, see how we are caught in that. Example is given, cocoon, yes, stuck in, cannot come out. Yeah, what? What is that verse? That pleasure, the moment you seek pleasure, you discharge is following. 7:42 is it? Yeah. So this is how it is in the material world. This verse is a very nice verse. Sukhaya dukkha mokshaya sankalpa eva karminaha sadapnotiha dukkam aniyaya sukha avartaha. In this material world, every materialistic desire, every materialist desire to achieve happiness and diminish his distress. Therefore he acts accordingly. Actually, however, one is happy as long as one does not endeavor for happiness. As soon as one begins his activity for happiness, his condition of distress begins. This is sanctification. See how the whole thing is constructed for only miseries. That's why Krishna says what? Dukhalyam ashasha. You understand? Sense gratification is a no-go. Is a what? No-go. For a moment's pleasure, what is that verse? The sex life is the number one thing in the whole world. What is that? Maituna, what is it? Yeah. 7:9:45. You see? It's a very nice verse. We'll look at it. Yan maituna adi graham adi sukam hai tucham. There's one word sukam here, correct? And then kandune na karayo hai dukkha dukkam, double. And then next line, tripayanti means what? No happiness. And then kripana bahu means what? Dukkha baja, again. How many dukkha's coming around? And how many sukha? Huh? Sukha hai tucham. Tucham means what? Insignificant happiness. Yeah? This one line, Prabhu. You see? Right? Kandativa manusijam vishaheta dhira. You see that? See, this verse is, Prabhupada quote this verse many times. Sex life is compared to rubbing of two hands to relieve an itch. Grahamedi, so-called grahasthas who have no spiritual knowledge, think that this itching is the greatest form of happiness. See? Although actually it is source of distress. I all know what. After you ask a married man, do you like to get married? Please, Prabhu. Yeah? No? What? No. What? In front of wife you cannot say, oh, problem, I go back. Yes, or get pulled. Yeah? Understand? See how? Actually, you see that although actually it's also distress, the kripanas, the fools who are just the opposite of brahmanas are not satisfied by repeated sensuous enjoyment. Those who are dhira, however, who are sober and who tolerate this itching are not subject to the sufferings of fools and rascals. I mean, Shastra. Understand? So all these things entangling us. So then now, okay, practically speaking, how to come out of this? Right? So where is that verse? Kamadinam? Right? 22.16. No? See the solution here. Prahlad Maharaj also said, so we will go through this. This is from the Nectar of Devotion. Very important verse. Kamadinam katina katita palita dhurnidesha tesham jatamayana karuna na trapana upashanti utsrijantam atha yadupate sampratam labda buddhis tvam ayataha sharanam bhayam mam nikunja swatma dasye. A lot of important meaning on this verse. Oh my Lord, there is no limit to the unwanted orders of lusty desires. Although I have rendered these desires so much service, they have not shown any mercy to me. I have not been ashamed to serve them, nor have I even desired to give them up? See that? Nasty desires, he rendered so much what? Unwanted orders, rendered this desire so much service, and they have not shown any mercy. And I am not ashamed also to see. No, I have a desire to give them up also. You see, that's how lust is so powerful, this sense gratification. You tired today, tomorrow you want again. Correct? See how it goes. So, there is an important line. Oh my Lord, O head of the Yadu dynasty, recently, however, my intelligence has been awakened. And now, I am giving them up due to the transcendental intelligence. I now refuse to obey the unwanted orders of the desire, and I have now come to you to surrender myself at your fearless lotus feet. Kindly engage me in your personal service and save me. Is that the point? In other words, sense gratification can only be, what we say? Can only be conquered by service to the Lord. Yes? The moment we serve the Lord, Krishna also said in the Bhagavad Gita, Devi Sagunamaya Mama Maya Turutyaya Mam Eva Prapadyante Mayam Etantarantite 7:14 Bhagavad Gita. If you surrender to me, then you can overcome my Maya. Yes? Right or not? So, in this verse 7:14, Krishna says, if you surrender to me, you can overcome my Maya. Only by surrendering to me. What do you do now? How do you go back? What do you press?
Escape.
Escape. Escape not going? This computers. All right. In the Bhagavad Gita here Krishna says, unless you surrender to me, the divine energy of mind consuming the three modes of material nature is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered to me can easily cross beyond it. So the solution is that if you want to get out of Maya, then the only way is to surrender to Krishna. There is no other way. Because Krishna has engineered it very well, You follow? But again, Krishna just said that in the Bhagavad Gita, but actually, you can see here, and this verse in the Srimad 11th Canto. My dear Uddhava, I am personally the ultimate shelter and way of life for sanely liberated person, and thus if one does not engage in my loving devotional service, which is made possible by associating with my devotees, then for all practical purpose one possesses no effective means for escaping from material existence. Now Krishna is saying another thing. That yes, you can, if you surrender to me, you can overcome my Maya. But here he is saying, if you don't surrender to my devotee, you cannot overcome my Maya. You understand? In other words, you just going direct to Krishna, it's not going to work. It is not going to work. Understand? You have to surrender to him. So I hear an important point. This is a question was raised by Yudhishthira. Maharaj Yudhishthira inquired from Narada Muni, O my Lord, O great sage, kindly explain how we are staying at home without knowledge of the goal of life may also easily attain liberation according to the instruction of the Vedas. So this is our position. We all are stuck. Yes? Is it not? Our whole consciousness is like this, staying at home, no time. Every time you ask him to do something, no time, Prabhu. That's a fact. Either the kid is crying or the wife is crying. Of course, the wife is not crying, but somebody is making a mess. Yes? This is Yudhishthira is asking this question. So here Narada is explaining that Narada is saying, Narada Muni replied, my dear king, those who stay at home as householders must act to earn their livelihood, and instead of trying to enjoy the result of their work themselves, they should offer this result to Krishna Vasudeva. How to satisfy Vasudeva in the life can be perfectly understood through the association of great devotees of the Lord. Again, same point, he's saying, you have to worship the Lord. Correct? How to worship the Lord, you must learn from the devotees. Yes? Correct? So in other words, associating with devotees is very, very important. If you don't want to associate with devotees, then very difficult. Very difficult, impossible. Just like here, this verse that we always hear, this verse has been quoted I think 1,000,000 times in the old books. This verse, every time we read this verse, right? Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma nahite mam eti sojuna. This is quoted so many times, Prabhupada actually, yes? One who knows the tranquil nature of my appearance and activity does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in the material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Yes? If you know about Krishna's transitional appearance and activity, correct? Go back. Yes? But here Krishna is saying another thing. And here he is saying, one who has obtained pure devotional service by association with my devotees, always engaging in worshipping me, thus he very easily goes to my abode, which is revealed by my pure devotees. In other words, you understand, just previous to this verse is the same point that Krishna was making here. He was also saying the same thing. Anyone who understands my transitional appearance and activities, my dear Uddhava, narrations of my pastimes and qualities are all auspicious and purify the entire universe. A faithful person who constantly hears and glorifies and remembers such tranquil activities, who through dramatic performance relieves my pastime beginning with my appearance, and who takes full shelter of me, dedicating his religious, sensual and occupational activities for my association, certainly obtains unflinching devotional service to me, the eternal personality of Godhead. This is the same thing. Janma karma chami divyam evam yoveti tattvata. But here, Krishna is now saying that you cannot do this if you do not get the blessing of the devotees. Yes? Only the devotee can reveal this to you. Was that? Is the point? Thus, he very easily goes to my abode, which is revealed by my pure devotee. In other words, if you want gross in sense gratification, devotee association is definitely, yes, it's also said in this CC, right? What is that? 22:151. And here, Jai Sri Radha. Unless one is favored by a pure devotee, one cannot attain the platform of devotional service. To say nothing of Krishna Bhakti, one cannot even be relieved from the bondage of material existence. It is not possible. It is not? It is not what? You cannot do it on your, it is not possible. So devotee association is very, right? Extremely important. Without devotee association, it's practically impossible. That's why it's also said here, this is also stresses this point. One should learn how to associate with the devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. This process is most purifying. As devotees thus develop their loving friendship, they feel mutual happiness and satisfaction. And by thus encouraging one another, they are able to give up material sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. Yes, again, sense gratification, if you want to give up, then there is only one thing, association with. If you don't want to associate with devotees, it is not possible. It is not one. So then, he also said another thing, Narada Muni, association is so important. He also said another thing here. He said to Yudhishthira, the process of chanting the holy name of the Lord is so powerful that by this chanting even householders, grahasthas can very easily gain the ultimate result achieved by a person in the renounced order. Maharaj Yudhishthira, I have now explained to you the process of religion. So the next thing he's saying is what? What is that? The what? Chanting. The what? So he said first thing, association. Second thing what he says? Chanting. Two things, very important. Yes. And what is it? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said. 107, is it? No, sorry, 16. 15107. They inquired what to do. They were inquiring. They also the same question. We are householders. How do we make progress? The same question. This same thing. Satyaraj Khan said, my dear Lord, being a householder and materialistic man, I do not know the process of advancing in spiritual life. I therefore submit myself to your lotus feet and request you to give me orders. So in other words, he is asking, again Yudhishthira asks who? Now Satyaraj is asking who? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? Same question, correct? So again, the Lord is giving the answer. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, without cessation, continue chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna. Whenever possible, serve him and his devotee, the Vaishnavas. Same instruction. What instruction? And? So Narada Muni is speaking to Yudhishthira, the same thing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking to the Satyaraj, same thing. So not that Narada spoke millions of years ago and now not valid anymore. Prabhu, we are modern, Prabhu, now it's changing times. We have to dance disco, that's what we should do. All this chanting, all, yes? See, same instruction, 500 years ago. And of course, Prabhupada also is saying the same thing, associating with devotees and chanting Hare Krishna. So this is parampara. This is what? Parampara. And of course, we ask this question, upon hearing this, Satyaraj, how can I recognize a Vaishnava? Please let me know what is a Vaishnava is. What are his common symptoms? He is asking. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, whoever chants the holy name of Krishna just once is worshipable and is topmost human being. So you see how the definition of Vaishnava is. Anyone who chants even once. That means anyone who chants Hare Krishna is worshipable. Association. Because we will explain that better. So many guys are chanting and doing all kind of crazy things. You have to be careful. Not simply in the name of devotee you dance with him with the skirt and thing, you have to be careful what you're doing. I just simply become foolish. So the point we are making is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving this instruction and Narada Muni is giving instruction and association of devotee and chanting Hare Krishna. Now what happens when you do these two things? It's explained here. What is that verse? Jare deka tare ka Krishna upadesh. 7 what? 179 is it? 7179?
7128.
Yeah, 7128. So you see here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Brahmin, he wanted to go with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He came, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling and he stayed in this man's house, And then he was so impressed already, he said, no, please, let us hear what he says. You will be understanding. So you know what is he saying? Saying here, the Brahmin backed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. My dear Lord, kindly show me favor and let me go with you. I no longer tolerate the waves of misery caused by materialistic life. Is it? You want to get out? You want to what? I want to come out of this. This statement is applicable for everyone, regardless of how rich or prosperous one may be. Narottam Das Thakur has confirmed this statement. Samsara Vishanale Divanisha Yujale. He stated that the materialistic life causes a burning in the heart. One cannot make any provision for troublesome life of material world. It is a fact that one may be very happy as far as riches are concerned, and one may be very opulent in every respect. Yet one has to manage the Vishayas to meet the demands of the body and so many family members and subordinates. One has to take so much trouble to minister to others. Narottam Das Thakur therefore prays, Vishaya Chabiya Kabe Shuddha Habe Na Mana. Thus one must be free from the materialistic way of life. One has to merge himself in the ocean of transcendental bliss. In other words, one cannot relish transcendental bliss without being free from materialistic way of life. It appears that the Brahmana named Kurma was materially very happy, for he expressed his family tradition as Janma Kula Dhan. Now, being glorious, he wanted to leave all this material opulence. He wanted to travel with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. According to Vedic way of life, civilization, one should leave this family after attaining 50 years of age and go to the forests of Vrindavan to devote the rest of his life to the service of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, "Don't speak like that again. Better to remain at home and chant the holy name of Krishna always." They never encouraged him to what? He was going to take sannyas, leave the house and go. Right? He said no. Right? It is not advisable in this age of Kali to leave one's family suddenly for people who are not trained as proper brahmacharis and grihasthas. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised the Brahmana not to be too eager to give up your family life. It would be better to remain with his family and try to become purified by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly under the direction of the spiritual master. This is the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If this principle is followed by everyone, there is no need to accept sannyas. In the next verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised everyone to become an ideal householder by offensively chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and teaching the same principle to everyone he meets. God is the famous verse. Instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Sri Krishna as given in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. This is the sublime mission of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Many people come and inquire whether they have to give up family life to join the society. But that is not our mission. One can remain comfortably in his residence. We simply request everyone to chant the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. And if one is a little literate, Prabhupada says, if you are a little bit literate, what? IIT, MIT, so many T's. If you have that tea, not the drinking tea, tea. Understand? If one is a little literate and can read Bhagavad Gita as it is and Srimad Bhagavatam, that is so much better. These works are now available in English translation and are done very authoritatively to appeal to all classes of men. Instead of living engrossed in material activities, people throughout the world should take advantage of this movement and chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra at home with the families. One should also refrain from sinful activities like illicit sex, meditating, gambling and intoxication. Out of these 4 items, illicit sex is very sinful. Every person must get married, every woman must especially get married. If the woman outnumber the man, some man can accept more than one wife. In that way there will be no prostitution in society. If man can marry more than one wife, already we read the subject of marrying so many wives. I quoted 2 verses of it. I don't even want to get into that. Right? If man can marry more than one wife, illicit sex life will be stopped. One can also produce many nice preparations to offer Krishna from grains, fruits, vegetables and milk. Why should one indulge in unnecessarily meat eating and maintain horrible slaughterhouse? What is the use of smoking and drinking tea and coffee? People are already intoxicated by material enjoyment, and if they indulge in further intoxication, what chance is there for self-realization? Similarly, one should not partake in gambling and unnecessarily agitate the mind. The real purpose of human life is to attain the spiritual platform and return to Godhead. That is the summum bonum of spiritual realization. This Krishna conscious movement is trying to elevate human society to the perfection of life by pursuing the method described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his advice to the Brahmana Kurma. That is, one should stay at home, chant the Hare Krishna mantra and preach the instruction of Krishna as they are given in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. See, Prabhupada is saying what to do? You stay at home, chant Hare Krishna, read the books and preach. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further advised the Brahmana, if you follow this instruction, your materialistic life at home will not obstruct your spiritual advancement. And if you follow this regulative principle, we will again meet here, or rather, you will never lose my company. Understand this point? So in other words, if you practice this Krishna consciousness by chanting, by associating and by reading, then this Maya will never don't worry, tell your wife you're not going to take sannyas. Already confirmed here, right? You show to your wife, she'll be very happy. Wow. It's now probably 50 years must leave. Second line is no need, you just stay at home. Chant Hare Krishna and what? Preach Krishna kindness, associate. Yes. And this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you will not lose my company. I will be there with you. Right? So the process is very simple. Don't have to make many plans. You just, especially now, if you move nearer to the temple, correct? Attend the association, correct? Chant Hare Krishna together, and you'll be happy. And no problem. Yes. Then you will not be interested in all these crazy things. Yes? Correct? So I have explained today at class what the senses, yes? What happens if you engage in sense gratification? Yes? Correct? You're going to be in big trouble? Yes? Especially sex life? You're going to get more and more problems. And we're giving you examples what to do as a householder. Yudhishthira Maharaj, yes? Satyaraj come. And the solution we have given. So if you want to still carry on enjoying the senses, then it's going to be bad news. It's going to be what? Anyone who wants to not listen, we don't want to follow these directions. You want to do what you want to do, correct? You want to do what you want to do? My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifices established by the Vedas certainly leads a life full of sin. Living only for the satisfaction of the senses, such a person lives in vain. If an ignorant person who has not conquered the material senses does not adhere to the Vedic injunctions, certainly will engage in sinful and irreligious activities. Thus, his reward will be, what will be his reward? Repeated birth and death. Also Krishna says, for those who know Bhagavad Gita, right? Krishna also says the same thing. Krishna says here, Asidhadana Purusha Dharma Sasya Parantapa Aprapyamam Nirvartante Mrityu Samsara Vatmani. This again Krishna says. Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, O controlled enemy. Therefore they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. So if you don't want to follow, then choice is yours. Correct? Solution is there. I don't want to do, that's it. Alright, I have explained at length. I think it's pretty clear. Yes? Yes or no? No. What? No answer. What? Yes, no, no, yes? Yes, no means what? You don't know. What? Yes? Very good. So, any questions? You sleep, huh? What? Sense gratification does not. Hey. Anyone wants to enjoy the senses, he will do sinful activities. When he does sinful activities, he will be seeing repeated birth and death. Not only that, he also go to heaven. Understand? Alright, so no question, we'll stop here then. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, all glories to all of you, all glories to Prabhupada.